It's late June, and this is the time of year we really get serious about our late summer food plots. Your planning, the actual planning process doesn't always take that long, but it's the preparation leading up to it that takes time and some thought, and it kind of varies on your ground conditions and what situation you've got. So today I thought it'd be a good idea to walk you through 3 different scenarios as to how your food plot might look right now at this point in time. Remember, the Big-n-Beasty, clover, some of that stuff is going to be planted in our part of the country late July. So we're about 3 weeks away, maybe 4 weeks away right now. So we got to start prepping these plots. So one of the situations, what I would call maybe the most prepared situation, is what we got going on right here. We spray tilled this back in the spring / early summer, and planted buckwheat to it about 2 weeks ago. So in this situation, we're gonna let this buckwheat grow up. We're gonna go in here in late July, just broadcast whatever we're planting, you know, the small seeds. In our case, this is gonna be Big-n-Beasty this year. And then what we'll do is we'll come in with the roller or a cultipacker and go right over top of this buckwheat. It'll knock it over, and we'll go through with Roundup and spray it. So the advantages of the buckwheat are multiple, really. Number one, if you have a situation where the ground could be a little wetter, get that buckwheat growing on it. It's going to use that moisture up instead of just having it sit there with weeds. The second thing it does is it's a good soil builder. We're down here in the southern tier of New York, and this ground, I wouldn't call it pristine farm ground. It's rocky, pretty rough. So the more of this vegetation, this green stuff we can always have growing on it, and then spray kill it to get it back on the ground, the better. It's just better for your soil health and just long-term viability of your ground. This cover that you're going to put on here is going to suppress the weeds. This is going to get shaded out. It's going to shade the ground out pretty quick, and it's going to suppress that weed growth. And obviously the other benefit is once you roll it over and spray it again, you're getting another kill on those weeds. With the food plot seed going right in, it's going to have a great head start to get growing. It'll just outgrow and outcompete any new weeds that come. So obviously the idea here with this buckwheat is to get it planted, early June. Is it too late right now as we call this early July? It's technically not too late. You're just not going to get as much growth. So this might be a concept that you want to remember next June to get your ground ready and implement this strategy. So this is one situation where you've had to have a lot of pre-planning, but it works really good this time of year for weed control. So we got a beautiful planting of monster magnet that we put in about a month ago. It's coming in really nice. But just above this area here would be another situation, what I'd call just your bare dirt method. The beauty of having a small seed like Big-n-Beasty or clover or something similar is that you don't have to do any major disking or tilling close to when you want to plant, because the seed only has to go in just a tiny bit. So one of my favorite scenarios is to have a dirt field like this, totally prep it, whether you started as grass or whatever to begin with back in the spring, get it to this point, till it, work it, spray it, whatever needs to get done. Get like your final fit is what I would call it. And then let the weeds grow. So give the weeds ideally 2, 3, 4 weeks. Let them grow, come in here with Roundup, spray kill it all. Then you broadcast your small seeds and color pack it, and you're good to go. Again, the philosophy here is to get ahead of the weeds. If you go in and were to till this up and work it up, fresh soil, right before you plant, that's fine and have a great seed bed, but your weed competition is going to be much worse than if you did this method of letting the weeds grow, spray kill it, and then plant on top of that with a color packer. You'll be much happier with the results. So this third situation is probably what I'd call the most challenging by far. And if you've got a field that's just overgrown and grass and whatever up to in this situation, about our waist, this is one you're gonna have to definitely fight with it, but you can still make a food plot out of it. But the sooner you get going, the better. So as we stand right here now, 1st of July, I would come in here and mow this as soon as possible. Chop it down, get it sized up the best you can, follow it up, immediately with a Roundup spray, and then just give it some time to die off. If it browns up, dies off, you're going to have an easier time getting some soil up to the surface and getting this stuff worked in. Again, kind of follow that same principle as if you had the bare ground. Try to get it to that final stage as soon as you can. So get it burned off, get the soil tilled, get it flattened out, and then give it as long as you can to let the new crop of weeds come in. Because all this stuff that you're going to mow down, for instance, this grass and stuff has got seeds, and it's just going to go down in there, and you've got thousands, literally millions of tiny seeds that are in that soil. So when you till them up, they're gonna bring all them old ones up, and all these new ones are gonna be, in essence, planted. So let them grow, give it a good shot of Roundup, give it that final prep, and then you can go in there and plant your seed and color pack it in. Again, the beauty of the small seed is you do not have to till it deep, so you can get your whole seed bed prepped, wait for the weeds, spray kill it, and then go in and plant it. So just to kind of wrap things up and summarize, we try to go through 3 different situations that everybody's going to deal with over their, the course of their food plotting season, so to speak. Again, it's deer hunting, really, you can turn it into 365 days if you want, but the sooner you start preparing for these late summer / fall plots, the better. And whatever your situation is, you got to handle it a little differently. Whatever equipment you have is going to determine your situation. But take a look now, get on it as soon as you can to get that final seed bed prepped. Sooner the better, so you can go right in and plant late summer, early fall, whatever you're planting. It's a great time too. Make sure you got enough seed ordered. Take a look at your existing fields and see if they're going to make it. Sometimes we like to interseed Big-n-Beasty into soybeans. So take a look at your soybean crop. If it's a little light, you can go through there with some more seeds. So get on frigidforage.com. Everything's well stocked and ready to ship. So get it ordered now, so when those timely rains come as we get closer to planting season, you can watch that. You have your seed just sitting there ready to go. Plant it and start dreaming about fall.